some of those vaccine trials were done across from the hospital. Dr. Hansard calling those who participated the real heroes. Fortunately, no businesses were broken into or damaged here, but we do know that someone is in custody. Behind us, cars are moving. Huntsville police just announced over the speaker on the car, they just came by, and they said that people can start to go down Governor's Drive, US 431 right here slowly. So take a look at these cars. They are finally moving. I'm going to show you the Shell gas station. This looks completely different than it did a few hours ago this morning, where, like you just mentioned, there was a lot of people forced to sleep in their cars. Here, because I'm excited for Hispanic Heritage Night here at Toyota Field. Like you said, not only the last homestand here, this is a celebration of the Hispanic culture here in North Alabama, a rich culture, a diverse culture. I heard of it. Your city probably has one. A child advocacy center, a place for victims of child sexual abuse to go. What if we told you the idea behind these centers started here in Huntsville, Alabama, off Lincoln Street, in this house? His family, who posted online as well, said that he is in good spirits despite his condition. Everyone in this community just hoping and praying that these two make a full recovery. Oh, there's actually a lot more snow with flurries coming down, a lot stronger. They're actually hitting me in the face. I don't know if you can see on the beanie too. Years ago, drugs were made at a place like this. It's what gave Sand Mountain its nickname, Meth Mountain.
He said that he had gone down in a helicopter crash. I asked if he was okay, and she said no, he's gone.
Wednesday night, Rose Henneke had to find a way to tell her daughter her father had died.
And it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. She called me after that.
Yeah. Daniel Wadham's daughter, Lily, now coping with losing her father suddenly, but not necessarily unexpectedly.
Him being, dying on the line has always been a thought in the back of my mind that I've always been worried about.
You see, Daniel Wadham had been serving our country through the U.S. Army, was deployed shortly after Lily was born. He then went on to join the Tennessee National Guard and for several years worked as a Nashville police officer.
Our servants aren't always. It was his life's mission, was to protect and serve.
He remained close with his entire family, including his ex-wife and his former mother-in-law. They say he was a family guy, someone you'd have a hard time finding anything bad to say about.
He was out there for the good of the people, and it was whatever it took for the good of the people.
This family truly believing he died a hero.
He's an amazing pilot. He is by the book, and he knows what he's doing, man. And I know for a fact, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that he went down fighting to save as many lives as he could.
Investigators continue to look into what exactly caused this crash. This family is now planning for a funeral, but they're asking for your help to help pay for flights to get family members to Tennessee, including Lily. If you'd like to help, we have a link to that GoFundMe on our website, waytv.com. Reporting in Harvest, Megan Reyna, Way 31 News. A Florence lawmaker is taking on Delta 8. It's a form of legal THC. He says it's landing in the hands of kids, and right now there's no age restrictions on these products. So I dug deeper to help explain what Delta 8 is and why some want it to be illegal altogether. Huntsville attorney John Brinkley wears several hats, including a farmer for hemp.
Delta 8 will be legal. It is legal now. It's always been legal since this farm bill was passed.
In 2018, when the Farm Bill was signed into law, Brinkley chose to take a chance and invest in the hemp industry, opening up farms in both Huntsville and right across the state line in Tennessee. Some of these plants shipped off to be made into Delta 8 products.
And they're available at most gas stations, some CBD shops, some nutraceutical or health food stores.
In fact, Brinkley owns this CBD and Delta 8 shop, which has products like gummies and vape pens. But the difference between this product and a traditional marijuana product is the amount of THC in it. He says this won't get you the same high as Delta 9, which is illegal.
They generally just give the relaxation. They don't get you stoned necessarily.
But what it will get you is a positive drug test.
If you're using Delta 8, which is perfectly legal in Alabama, it will come up, you will come up hot for a THC test under Delta 9.
Attorney Michael Timberlake says it could prevent you from getting a job or cause you to lose one.
They don't have the to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. They just, you know, if you pop hot for THC, they can take action against you.
But for the court system, it's a gray area.
Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's good.
Madison County Chief Deputy District Attorney Tim Gam calls Delta 8 a loophole. He says if you take enough, it's just as bad as Delta 9. It's also causing a headache for probation officers and judges.
It's a problem right now, and right now, without sending it to Department of Forensic Science to actually have it tested to distinguish, we can't distinguish it. So I believe it is causing some trouble with folks on probation.
Gann says the Department of Forensic Sciences is already backed up and needs to prioritize high-profile cases, which is why Gann supports state legislation to make it illegal.
What you're dealing with is a situation where the federal government has said it is legal, and state government can come in and pass more restrictive laws than the federal government.
An attempt to last legislative session fell through, but back on February 1st, Florence Senator Tim Melson filed SB 144. It would define Delta 8 as a Schedule I controlled substance. However, he says he plans to scrap the bill. Instead, he's working on legislation so only people 21 and older can buy the products, a relief for hemp farmers like Brinkley.
Hemp plants, for example, contain Delta 8. So if you prohibited Delta 8, it would in fact prohibit every single plant in the state of Alabama.
Senator Melson says he'll consider another attempt at making it illegal in the future, but first he wants to prioritize keeping a product intended for adults away from kids.
Love the story, Megan, but I do have a question. So we're talking about restricting age access, but that can affect business for the folks who sell this. How do these people feel about that age restriction?
Chris, yes, I brought this up to them actually yesterday. They have no problems with it. They actually enforce age restrictions as of right now, even though there's not a law in place. They believe that there should be an age restriction on it. So they're completely fine with that. They think that that is reasonable. While this might look like any other doctor's office to you, there's really something special happening inside there. A couple decided to start this clinic a year and a half ago, a nonprofit to serve the Spanish-speaking community.
I'm getting emotional.
For nurse practitioner Nayeli Alvarez Hernandez,
Wow.
working here is a calling.
Honestly, I think I see my parents more than anything.
She knows what it's like to go to a doctor's appointment with her parents, and no one there is able to understand them.
I feel like I'm helping a lot more people doing this type of work.
But this clinic is different than most she grew up going to.
It's a very humble clinic, but God is doing great things here.
Myra and Dr. Thomas Short, a gastroenterologist down at Decatur, wanted to open up this practice where everyone who works here is bilingual, and you don't have to have insurance to be seen.
And you get their confidence, their trust, because they see that you're, here to help them, really.
Dr. Short says while it's not a free clinic, he's negotiated with Huntsville Hospital and other specialists to have what he calls a fair price.
We're not a clinic that was set up to make any amount of money, that kind of thing. So I think we've gained the trust of the mostly Hispanic community.
And several doctors are donating their time to help patients here.
We have an endocrinologist, a retired urologist, and a rheumatologist, and they come here and see patients also.
Patients, they get you.
And for Alvarez Hernandez, she's living out a dream that both her and her parents work towards.
Like, what do they think about what you're doing now? Oh, they love it. They're like so proud.
Everyone who works here is just so passionate about what they do. It really is touching. And they do accept donations to help pay for patients that can't afford the price that they offer. So if you would like to donate, we have a link on our website, waytv.com. They also use that money towards medical supplies. And if you want more information about how to set up an appointment here, we also have that information for you on our website. Reporting live in Huntsville, Megan Reyna, Way 31 News.